So Standard Metrics East Africa has waded into the current proposals on the new tax boundaries, among which will see TAZ taxpayer go deeper into their pockets. Last week, the Finance Bill 2023 was finally tabled before the National Assembly after a lot of speculation by taxpayers, lobbying by business association, and speeches or premises from government officials. Changes that taxpayers were expecting in the bill included the exemption of liquefied petroleum gas from the value-added tax and levies and eased tracking of the tax refund process. There are a couple of wins and losses for the ordinary payers if the bill is enacted into law as it is. Households who cook using LPG can now look forward to a sharp decrease in the price of clean fuel if the proposal to exempt the commodity from 8.0% VAT to 3.5% import declaration fee and 2.0% railway development levy is affected. Ordinary payers will also be affected by the introduction of the mandatory contribution to the National Housing Development Fund. The contribution, which is made from a deduction from the employees' salaries, will further income. Taxpayers will look out for notices for public participation that have their issues or representations addressed.
Individuals. How some of these funds that are being created are going to be managed, and the return that the individual taxpayers will get. But the bigger question is that with inflation and the reduction in disposable income, one challenge that I personally see is that the tax brackets have not been widened, and the focus is really collecting tax from individuals rather than corporates at this stage. And this will erode the purchasing power of the individuals. Increasing the tax bracket to 35% is one, but overall the increase in tax with NSSF, NHIF, the housing levy reduces the net take-home for every taxpayer when inflation has been in the range of around 10% in the last 12 to 18 months. So there is generally a reduction in the purchasing power of Wananchi.
Is the introduction of the National Housing Development Fund levy. You'll remember there was an attempt to introduce this, although it was challenged, and I believe the introduction now introduces a few refinements that hopefully will address any future challenges in court on this matter. This is going to be at 3% of the employer's basic salary, employer and employee basic salary, but capped to 5,000 shillings. If you qualify, and we expect that there will be introduction of regulations to now operationalize this in terms of who would qualify for the levy.